So it's Holy Week, and for those who aren't familiar with Holy Week, because number one, you're probably not Catholic, and number two, um, maybe you just don't care. But to inform all of you what Holy Week is about, basically it's the most important week of Lent because it leads up to Jesus' death, uh, before he resurrects. And that's what Easter's about, if you didn't know, Jesus' resurrection. And so basically this entire week, every day is, almost every day I would say, is special. It mainly starts from Thursday though, call it Holy Thursday, and then Good Friday, because that's the day that Jesus is dead. And then Saturday, which I found out recently is supposed to be called like Nothing Saturday, but I used to always just call it Holy Saturday, even though we do have a Holy Thursday. So then now that it makes more sense to call it like Nothing Saturday, but it just doesn't sound right. Why is it called Nothing Saturday? I guess it's because it's just emptiness because Jesus is dead. But it's like, why did we call it that? Or I don't know, like not we, but like why did us as Catholics or whatever, whoever made it, because it might not have been made by a Catholic, it could have been made by a different Christianity that we just adapted. But I don't know, it feels so odd to call it Nothing Saturday or Emptiness Saturday or whatever it was called when I heard it for the first time. But yeah, that is Saturday, and then Sunday is Easter Sunday, and then you could also say Easter Monday too, because I don't know. I'll be honest. Like I'm not. Maybe I'm just a bad Christian Catholic, but I honestly don't even know why both Sunday and but why Easter Monday and Easter Sunday is called both. Like why are they both Easter? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, and I probably should know that, but I don't know. But anyways, it's the start of Holy Week. So again, really, there's nothing really happens on Monday. Yesterday, Sunday, was Palm Sunday, which is like when Jesus came in and people were kind of parading him, I would say, with these palm leaves, and you kind of reenact it in the church. And yeah, other than that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they don't get any love for some reason. Maybe they do, but I actually don't know what they would be called. And for me, it's not like we celebrate the Monday or the Tuesday or any of it, to be honest, leading up to the Holy Thursday. So to me, yeah, I don't know, man. What's up with we get no Monday love. We get no Monday love, we get no Tuesday love, we get no Wednesday love. And those happen to be the 3 days I go into work this week. Because if you didn't know, the Good Friday is actually a holiday. I don't know why. I'm not complaining, but it's just weird because it's not like everyone's Catholic or Christian, celebrating this. So it's, like, it's not like when Eid happens, we get like a day off. So, it's a bit odd. I can be honest. And holy crap, that Lucas just got bodied. But I just gotta be honest and say, like, I don't know why we get a free day. I mean, technically everyone does, but like, why does Good Friday get the really the exception here? I'm not the one to I'm not gonna be the one to dispute that or make any other comments besides the fact that I don't know why, but I'll take it. And because of that, I get one less work day, and it's good for me because I get to stay home. I get to use my work from home because I get one work from home every week. I'm going to use mine on Thursday. So it's like I get 2 days work from home, kind of. Even though one day I'm not even working. And holy crap, I'm bodying this Lucas. Now, Holy Week is a special week. It's a week of reflection, a big week. Probably the biggest week in terms of the holy calendar and such. But the main thing is that obviously Lent comes to an end. Jesus dies, comes back to life, and that's just the foundation of literally the Catholic Church, to be honest. Because if Jesus never resurrected, well, we wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't be a Catholic, you know? So, it's a very important day. And to be honest, one of the main things that is so great about Lent coming to an end is that I get to do the thing that I gave up, which is watch YouTube again. And I gave up Reels as well. I'll be honest, that one was kind of a bruh moment because I just don't like the way Instagram's layout is. Because if you don't have Instagram, or you may not know, it's like... Oh! Sorry, I just clipped that Lucas. Oh my gosh. Anyways. When Lent ends, because you're supposed to give up something for the 4 days, you don't have to. It's not always something that you need to give up. I talked about it. I think I talked about it in one of my other videos, probably the start of Lent. I definitely said something about this. But anyways, I gave up YouTube. I gave up Reels, and the YouTube portion is really easy for me. I don't know why it's so easy for me to give up YouTube. It's like it's easy for me to give up, and then it's just easily as bad I come back to it, and it's really, really bad. And shout out Rosalina, who is not only bad, but in the Mario movie, and I'm playing Dr. Mario, so shout out the Mario movie coming out. This is a really funny, random select. But I just want to say, like, YouTube for me, for some reason, is, like, really easy to give up. I think it has something to do with the fact that, I've done it for so long, that, like, for some reason, when it comes to these, like, when it comes to Lent, and when I do it, it's just like it just turns off, you know. It's like my YouTube, like, obviously I miss it, but it's like I can live without it. It's fine. But when it comes to anything else, like, I don't know why everything else is so hard to start up. Like, YouTube is so easy for me, but for anything else, it's like super hard. Like, this Reels thing, it was only hard for one reason and one reason only, and it was just for the fact that, like, again, the Instagram layout is so trash. When you click on any video, like any video that's just like a singular video, not like the ones with multiple slides on it, I'll get to that later, but like when you click on any video, it turns into a reel. Like, it turns into a reel that you can, like, once you're in that reel mode, you can like start scrolling. And I feel like that's so dumb. Like, before you couldn't do that. Like, if it was a video, it was a video. But now, because it's a reel, because the video turns into a reel, it just becomes a reel. So then now it's like I can't even watch a regular video, because if it turns into a reel, then that kind of just defeats the purpose. So that's happened to me a lot throughout the entirety of my experience in giving up my, you know, my Reels for Lent. And it's just like, it got to a point where I'm like, you know what, I have to, like, give, like, myself, like, a bit of a thingy here, because it's like, well, I can't even just, might as well just give Instagram at that point, because I'd be scrolling past everything. That's like, everything, if every video is a reel, then I'm basically scrolling through Reels, and it's just like, dude, what am I doing here? I don't want to do that. So what I propose is that I just never touch there's an actual Reel section if you go on Instagram. It's like the 4th tab on the bottom of your home screen. Sorry, phone screen, not home screen, but your phone screen. And I told myself I'm not going to touch that at all. So I didn't touch it. And if I accidentally did press it, I'd go immediately to the next video. I wouldn't watch a reel. But, you know, when it came to these videos, it's be like, sometimes I can't, you know, scroll past it. And it's just like, damn, like, this is kind of a bruh moment. But I try my best. I really try my best to not, you know, watch these videos and you know, try to scroll past them. And, you know, and I gave myself, you know, if it was one of those slide videos where it had like 3 different slides and it was a video, then that counts, you know? That counts as something that I can watch, because it's not a reel. So I was like, yeah, this is fine. And that's why I let any long-form content be consumed on Instagram. So I actually did get to watch a few things on there. But again, it made me feel weird, because it kind of became a reel, but it's not a reel, so I don't know. Like, I tried to minimalize all of that. Minimize? Is that the word? Isn't it minimize, not minimalize? Oh man, I thought about that. But anywho, yeah, that's just what I gave up. Instagram, easy peasy. You're probably wondering again, like, how I'm able to upload YouTube videos then, but that's uploading videos. I press the upload button on YouTube Studio and then it uploads, just like what I'm going to do with this one. Or I go onto YouTube, but I just don't open a video, you know, and I just press the videos, you know, create or whatever the frick it's called. Oh my gosh, what a tech. I thought I was dead there. But yeah, then that's what I've been doing, and you know, it's about to come to an end in a week, and you know, I'm excited to watch my mukbang videos again, and all my other obviously other YouTube videos. But yeah, it's coming to an end. I'm excited, and yeah, that's what that's all about, really. Giving up YouTube, watching. Finally, I get to watch Reels again. Whoop-de-doo. Like, honestly, all what this really does is makes me realize how much I spend a lot of my time getting consumed in this short form content. And you know, like, in a way, it's better for me because it makes me, you know, ignorant to everything going on. But then, you know, sometimes I feel like, man, I feel like I'm not. I feel like I don't know anything, and it kind of just makes me feel like I'm dumb and stupid and ignorant. And at times it's like better, and times it feels dumb. You know, I just feel straight up just feel dumb. So I don't know. There's pros and cons to it. I guess you just gotta limit yourself, but I don't know. It's just so hard. I really want to stop watching Reels, and I want to stop watching short form content. And you know, it's like I'm the problem because I'm the one making short form content. But you know, I'll be honest and say that my content is trash. I'm not making content to reel in people and get them to get hooked on my content. I just post whatever I think is funny or what's going on in my life. Like, you know, it's not something that's, you know, I'm not trying to take your time, so much of your time away. I just thought it was like good content, at least funny content to me. I died. But anywho, something also happened yesterday that I thought was kind of funny. Not really, but I had like the most embarrassing like moment I've had in a very long time in front of lots of people. So when I go to church, I actually do a thing called altar serving. I serve, not all the time, but when I do, I do it, and I just got zeroed to death by this Rosalina. That was actually kind of nice. And when I do, I've been doing it for a while, and because of that, you know, I'm considered one of the senior people, just like me and my brothers, because I do it with my brothers. And so usually, you know, with us, we don't really mess up. We don't, you know, we've been doing it for our entire lives. You know, I've been going to church ever since I was out of the womb, basically. Like, that's not even a joke. And yeah, you know, like, I've been going to the same church ever since I was born. The same church I was baptized. Had my, actually, I don't think I had my first communion or my reconciliation there. But you know what? It's like my second home, really, that church. And it's just really funny because, you know, I was a crossbearer. And what that is, basically, you literally lead the congregation. So I lead everyone who's walking in to the church, like the priest, the other servers, the readers, the whatever. And so I'm carrying this cross, and I'm carrying it all the way. And again, I've done this thousands, not even thousands. Okay, that's too much. I can think I've been to a church 1,000 times. But I've done it plenty of times, dozens of times, you know? To the point where it's basically second nature to me. But of course, it's Palm Sunday. It's a different type of church mass. So we got some different, you know, traditions that are happening. And so, I obviously am a bit rusty. It's been a year since my last Palm Sunday mass. So, you know, cut me some slack here a bit because I did, you know, if I did mess up, you know, like it, you know, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. But you know, obviously, it's a special time. Everyone's celebrating, and you know, it's preparing into Holy Week. So it is a pretty important mass, and a lot of people showed up yesterday. Again, it's like, I know we can call these people fake posers for only coming in mass on Easter and Christmas and whatever, but like, I don't care. Like, to me, as long as they show up, that's good enough for me, you know? Like, good for you guys for coming to mass. But anywho, as the crossbearer, I kind of lead this in, but there's at one point, so it's the very beginning of the very start. You come in, and that's what the crossbearer does. At the beginning of the mass, he walks everyone out, and then when mass ends, he walks everyone back in to the area that you set up in. So that's what I did. It's not a hard job. I wouldn't say it's very hard. You just walk and you hold a cross, which is, it's not heavy. It's just the brass cross. And yeah, that's just the job. But normally you just walk straight. You go all the way until you get to the altar. But we do a bit of a pit stop, as you would say, at the back of the church. And then what happens is that the priest is supposed to read a reading. And then after he reads the reading, he then goes around and he blesses the palms with the holy water. So he just has this holy water. One of the servers, that wasn't my job, right? One of the other servers holds a bucket of holy water, and he has the thing that I don't know what you call it, but he has the thing that splashes the holy water. Let's just say like a stick. He just dips the stick in the water, and then he just, or like a rod. He dips the rod in the water, then he splashes the rod onto the leaves with the holy water. I swear I just took that Rosalina stock like the same way last match. Anyways, that's what it's supposed to happen. And then he comes back, he does another reading. But what happens is that he's supposed to do, after he does the splashing of the water, you know, he blesses all the palms, he comes back, then we walk to the front of the church, and we, you know, then we get to the, you know, we get to the front, we all sit down, or actually we get to our seats. We don't sit down yet because he's going to do another reading. And what I was told, and I was even signaled to, was to, after he did all that, was to go. So I had to go. So after he splashed the water, I was told to go to the front of the church. And so that's what I did. And I got signaled to by one of the other altar servers to go. He's like telling me to go because I was like, can you key me in? He's like, yeah, sure, I can. And then, so I got queued to go and I started walking. And then a couple of the other altar servers started following me. I heard a bit of noise in my back, but I honestly didn't like, you know, because I'm supposed to stay professional. I'm supposed to keep it cool and collected. So I just kept walking until I got to the front of the church. We got to the front of the church. I turn around because I bow. And you know, I'm about to go and place it into, you know, because I don't hold the cross the entire time. I put it in its, like, holder. And I turn around, and it's like only like half the altar servers, and like the other half are still in the back of the church with the priest. And then I see one of the lecturers call to me saying to come back. And then so all the other altar servers, I tell them to stay back, like to stay and go to their seats at the front, because they're, you know, the people who follow me obviously are just as confused as I am. So I told them to stay, and I was the only one that walked all the way to the back of the church with the cross as I waddled back. And as that happened, like, I'm the only one walking back. So everyone's attention is towards me. And because I started walking too, like the choir mistimed their cue, so they started singing, and so they were only singing to with like me walking to the front with like half the altar servers, and yeah, and then they had to stop their singing. I had to walk all the way back, and honestly, when it was happening, it didn't seem that bad. Like, when it was happening, it didn't seem that bad because I made it not seem that bad because I was poised and I made it look like, oh, I was just, like, leading those altar servers to the front because I was just leading them for whatever reason. You know, it's not like people understand what's going on. And then as I walked back, like, everyone was watching me, but it was like, okay, like, oh, he's just going back to do the reading. So then the priest does the reading, and then after that, he finishes the reading, he goes back, and this time I walk everyone to the front of the church, to the altar. And so that was it. And then to be honest, in the moment it didn't feel like anything, but then once the mass continued on, it started to progress, I started to think about it more. I was like, dude, I was like, dude, I kind of messed up pretty bad. Like, dang, I started turning red. I started getting like, start feeling a little bit humiliated, a little bit of a damn, like I actually sold. I was like, dang, I like what the, like, I'm such a that was kind of embarrassing. Like, dang, I lost all my aura points. But you know, like, through that time, I was like, you know, the things I was thinking to myself was just like, you know, in a way, like, I can't really be saying like I was humiliated or all this, because, you know, I don't think I even had a fraction, not even a percentage of what Jesus felt when he started walking, and not through the Palm Sunday era, not through the palms, but when he was carrying the cross, you know, through the crowds of people when they asked him to crucify him. And that's what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like, look, this is imagine this pain, but 20 times or not even 20 times, but 1 billion times greater, you know? And that's what Jesus felt. And I just kept thinking that in my head, and I was like, you know, that made me feel a lot better, but I just felt still so embarrassed. I couldn't stop thinking about it for a majority of the time I was at Mass. But what do you know, like, when it kind of, we started getting to the end, and then I got back, like, no one pointed it out, you know. I wasn't expecting, like, anyone to, like, call me out on it, but, you know, I was expecting, like, someone to bring it up, but no one brought it up or like, said anything to me, and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe it really wasn't that big of a deal, and I was like, yo, this is great. So, you know, I guess that's just, like, the lesson, you know, like, you know, don't let these things go to your head. It's fine to make mistakes, and, you know, it's just something that I just thought was funny because it was a full church, you know, and it's like probably like at least a few hundred people who just probably watched me walk back and forth, front and back to the church. And I was like, dang, I look like kind of an idiot, but oh well, I don't think anyone really caught on, which is so funny. But at the end of the day, you know, that's the start of Holy Week, and I just wanted to talk about, I guess, my experience with Palm Sunday yesterday. Interesting experience for sure. A little embarrassing. I don't think I've ever had an embarrassing moment like that in a while. So, you know, it's a nice little freshen up. But yeah, thank you for listening to me rambling. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. For those of you doing Holy Week, you know, God bless. And yeah, amen. Amen to my brothers and sisters.